All right, welcome to We Are Soccer. And tonight we have a special Euro edition, as you can see. The Euros are upon us. After what's felt like an eternity waiting for these Euros due to the Euro 2020 getting postponed for a year and pushed back to 2021, they finally kick off and we're ready to go. We have 6 groups, 4 nations each make up the field, 24 teams, 16 advance past the knockout rounds. Should be fun. This is going to be fun. So, as you can see, we've got Nate. He's super excited.
I'm excited for going back in time for Euros 2020.
I know. So weird. They're still calling it Euro 2020.
Budget.
Yeah, they didn't. The branding. They didn't want to change the branding. They kept the same logo.
It's hard to turn a circle to a 1.
I agree. I'm not really
if
sure.
If it was
but
2024 and you had a 1, then you could do the little.
Just take off the little.
Just you go with it. You'd be fine. Or 2010, 20. You know.
Hey
throw
man.
Another 0.
I'm calling it the Euros. So we're gonna go with that.
Yeah.
The Euros. So what we're gonna do today, we'll just do a quick rundown of the groups, and then we'll give you some predictions. Nate has facts. He is spitting fire with facts today.
Facts and internet research. But actually, it is kind of funny because, and you brought up how really it's been a long time since these teams qualified. Normally, you go a couple months, 6 months or so, and you're right back into it. But this was a full year from qualification to the actual game because of 2021, and I think it could help a couple teams. You look at like a Jude Bellingham, you look at Jadon Sancho getting another year. You look at some teams that were allowed to find new players during that year during league play.
Absolutely.
And then you look at some players who won't be in because of injury because their face was broken in the Champions League or something, you know. Yeah. So or you're older or you're injured or they had a coaching change like Netherlands. Right. So every team is affected in a different way.
It is absolutely affected different teams in different ways, and we'll kind of dive in and chat about that. Yep. So, Nate, do we just want to kind of dive in and talk about Group A?
Let's grip it and rip it here.
All right.
We got Group A.
All right, I'll list them off, and then you give us some. Give us the fire and the facts.
Fire and the facts.
All right, Group A, we've got Italy, Switzerland, Turkey, and Wales.
So Italy is FIFA ranked 7th, if that matters to you. They won first in their group during the qualification area, actually going undefeated. And Finland, Greece, Bosnia, Armenia, and Liechtenstein was in that same group. Euro ranked, so Euro ranked is the ranking they are actually in the total Euro Cup out of all the teams that competed. They were number 2, based on score, goals for, against, and difficulty of group.
Italy have been a solid team for the past year, past year and a half. They've scored a lot of goals, given up very few. They are. I don't think there's a lot of pressure on them in this Euro tournament because everybody's looking at the big teams of Germany, France, England, Portugal. I think Italy, and this is going to sound strange. We'll talk about this a little later, but they could be a dark horse to win it all.
And it's weird to call them a dark horse because it's Italy, but they're just flying under the radar. No one's really talking about them, but they're not a bad squad.
I think they're actually a really good squad. They're pretty young too, so you're right. I think by the sound of it, both you and I are expecting them to come out as the top team in Group A.
I think they could. Yeah, I think they'll probably round out number 1 and win.
And they actually kick off the tournament against Turkey. The first game of the tournament on Friday. The first game of the tournament is always it's always a tight game. There's never a blowout, so I think it's still going to be a tightly contested game.
Well, Turkey's a decent team.
Yep, Turkey's all right.
They're FIFA ranked 29th, but that is also due to who they play, how they play. Mm-hmm. But they finished second in the group, going 7 wins, 2 ties, 1 loss. But France, Iceland, Albania, Moldova, and Andorra were in their group. They're actually FIFA ranked 14th on this, and Ozan Kubicek actually played 1 season for Stuttgart. I just wanted to include that in there to let you know.
Gotta slip that in there. I like that.
But Turkey historically is actually a decent side here, and that first game that you always have is always tough because it sets the pace. You lose, and now you're playing catch-up. You play tie. Depending how things go, it forces you into a must-win, and nobody wants to be in that situation.
I agree. I do see Italy winning the first game there, 1-0, 2-0, and you know how the Italians play. They'll score a goal, they'll come out and play, score a goal, excuse me, and then they'll sit back.
Yep.
They'll sit back and they defend and then counter and probably score another one. But again, Turkey's a good team. They could surprise people, so you never know. The other two teams in Group A are Switzerland and Wales.
Yep.
Wales are smaller nation. I don't think very many people outside of Wales have them getting out of the group.
Well,
Switzerland aren't bad either. They've got some decent players. You got any facts on them?
Wales,
Danny?
yeah, they finished Wales FIFA ranked 17th, finished second in the group, going 4-2-2 with Croatia, Slovakia, Hungary, and Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan.
That one too. Euro ranked 19. And then Switzerland is actually FIFA ranked 13th. They finished first in their group, going 5-2-1 against Denmark, Republic of Ireland, Georgia, and Gibraltar. The Euro ranking for them is 9. Switzerland is a side that honestly I think is very good as well.
Yep.
They're going to be really tough to beat. I could see them being the one that I could see Italy and Switzerland being the two that come out of this.
So is that who you're going with for Group A? Are you going with Italy and Switzerland coming out of that group?
Yeah.
And in that order, Italy
Yeah,
won.
I will say this though too. Wales also had probably one of the hardest qualifying group to get in here.
They did.
Because Wales, Croatia, Slovakia, and Hungary, they were the only group that had 4 teams that actually moved on. Now Hungary and Slovakia went to playoffs, obviously, to get there, but still the fact that they won the playoffs to roll in makes him coming out one of the only teams that had a group, and they finished second with 4 teams that moved on. So
don't you dare question Nate and his facts, because spitting straight fire right now with that right there. That happened a while ago as well, so good for you, man.
Wikipedia all over the place right
go.
there. But I still think Switzerland is going to be the one, but I could see Wales making an upset there.
I think you're right. I think the second, Italy will finish 1. That second position, I think Switzerland will get it, but Wales could really put up a good fight. So it will be highly contested.
Depends if Gareth Bale wants to play golf that weekend or not.
I don't know if you can really depend on Gareth Bale.
Come on!
I know. All right, let's move on to Group B, shall we? All right, Group B.
It's for Belgium.
Denmark, Finland, and Russia. Don't sleep on Russia. They have a good team. I'm telling you right now. Don't sleep on Russia. All right, Nate, let's talk. We got Belgium, Denmark, Finland, and Russia. What are your thoughts, buddy?
Belgium, FIFA ranked number 1.
Yep.
Finished first, going undefeated as well in their group against Russia, Scotland, Cyprus, and Kazakhstan. Very nice. Also San Marino. They're Euro ranked number 1. They are considered the best team right now. I have second thoughts, but as of right now, they're considered the number 1 in Euro, number 1 in FIFA.
Sure. I think in this group of, that has Belgium, I'll read it again, Belgium, Denmark, Finland, and Russia, do you think Belgium are going to come out number 1 in this group? Are they coming out of this group?
If they don't have De Bruyne, if they don't have Wetzel, I think they have midfield issues. I think they have massive midfield issues there. Can they overcome it? I mean, you're losing a player that completely changes your game in De Bruyne. If he was playing, I would say if he does play at all in this tournament, and I don't know, you fracture your face, I don't know how you play.
Well, he had surgery as well a week ago. The rumor is right now, I think he's being hidden away somewhere, but the rumor is he's had surgery. He's definitely going to miss the first game of the tournament for Belgium and then be reassessed after that. I don't see him coming back. And if it is, it's going to be well into the tournament if they get through.
Yep.
I do think they get out of this group. I think they're going to struggle. It's not going to be an easy ride for them. You're right. They're missing Witzel, and then when you add on that, they're missing De Bruyne, and then Hazard's not playing quite. He's not quite the player he once was. You got midfield issues, as you said.
It's the Belgian golden generation is seemingly kind of
coming to an end
here.
Yeah, I agree.
And unless someone else steps up and starts changing things. Not changing things, but steps up and takes those roles.
Yep.
I think they're going to struggle against Denmark and Russia, and we'll get into why in a minute here. But I think they're going to be the team that is the big surprise just like Spain was a couple years ago or a few tournaments back where they were ranked number 1 and everyone thought they were going to go all the way and they never got out of the group.
Didn't get out of the group at all.
Nope.
Yep, absolutely agree 100%. All right, so Belgium we're a little down on. What about the other teams in this group here?
Denmark.
Denmark.
FIFA ranked number 10, finished second with 4 wins, 4 ties. Did not lose a game in qualifying against Swiss, Republic of Ireland, Georgia, and Gibraltar. Euro ranked 15. They are a solid squad.
Yeah, I agree.
They're that team that can grind it away. Maybe they win it, maybe they tie it. They are the ones that can get stuck in, and I could see them definitely coming out of this group either first or actually second, actually, depending on how they do. They could nick a win against Finland, maybe tie against Russia and Belgium, and who knows. And that's all they have to do, and that's what they can do. They have a very good goalkeeper. They have some solid players there.
They have Kasper Schmeichel back there. They are in good hands. They're a solid team. I think they're going to give Belgium a run for the money on the top spot here, and I
think so too.
I wouldn't be at this point putting money on Belgium. I'm not putting money on Denmark to win the whole thing, but I would like to see them get out of it.
North Macedonia. What?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to throw your money
All
away,
in.
good.
Bad bet? Okay.
Do whatever you want to do. All right.
Finland.
How are they looking?
Ooh, FIFA ranked 54. Finished second though in their group, going 6 and 4, with Italy, Greece, Bosnia, Armenia, and Liechtenstein in there as well. Euro ranked number 20th, so they didn't do bad. Really, Italy. All they had to do is get by Greece, Bosnia. And Armenia,
They've got some decent players. Let's be honest, but they're not the complete squad.
I don't think they're getting out of this group.
Yeah, I don't think they're getting out of the group. I think they're going to finish last in the group.
Yes.
And as we talked about, we know why. You got Denmark and you got Belgium, the two kind of better teams there. But as we said to begin with in this group, Russia's in this group.
Who finished, it was FIFA ranked 38, which I still think is very deceptive. It's based on the fact that their country doesn't really play a lot of tournaments and everything like that, and most of the players stay in country.
Yep.
They finished second, going 8 wins, 2 losses, playing Belgium already in their group, Scotland, Cyprus, Kazakhstan, San Marino. They're actually Euro ranked 12th.
So I got to be honest. I think I mean, based on what we're talking about here, I think actually Russia get out of this group, and they will finish. They could finish first, to be honest. They'll get out of this group, and then it comes down to who's going to do some damage against Belgium. Is it going to be Denmark or Belgium to get out as the other team? What do you think?
Every year you have in these tournaments a few teams that nobody kind of pays attention to that always do well. In the past, it was like Greece. You got your Croatian teams way before Croatia got really, really good.
Yep.
That did well. I think Russia is one of those teams that will do well, that can do well.
Do you think they're going to pull a Greece? You think they're going to go on and win it?
Not win it, but I think they'll get out of their group, and I think they'll go farther than what people expect them to do, just like they did in the World Cup.
Yeah.
It's kind of a preamble of what they can do.
I agree.
I think Denmark wins the group, depending on how Belgium does. They could be tight with second, maybe Russia beating them. So
if I had to put a gun to your head, are Belgium getting out of the group?
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna say yeah.
They're gonna pull it together and get out of the group.
It's hard, but I think they're gonna. I think it's gonna be short lived. I think they're gonna come out second and then crash out.
I'm inclined to agree with you there. I think you're right. I think it's Belgium and Denmark to get out of that group, but after that,
it comes
crashing down.
It's hard to say that the top ranked team is not going to get out of the group. Yeah. I think if they don't get out, I'm not going to be shocked. I'm going to go, I should have
answered that question
differently. Now I feel like a fool.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be a fun group to watch.
It is.
And we're only in Group B. So, all right, in Group C, here we go. Austria, Netherlands, North Macedonia, and Ukraine. All right, what facts you got on Group C here, Nate?
Hardest group there is in the bunch because there are 2 Stuttgart players playing in this group. One for Austria, one for North Macedonia.
I'm inclined to agree with you that there are 2 players from Stuttgart playing in this group, but it is not the group of death.
I had this written down.
No, you're definitely wrong. But
because of Stuttgart. No, actually, this is the group of, they call it the group of light or whatever. This because everyone is every group has someone at least kind of in the top 10 in their group. This group does not. You have Austria, who's ranked 23. They finished second, 6-1-3. Poland, North Macedonia, Slovenia, Israel, Latvia in there. They're Euro ranked 16. Sasha Klesic does play for them. He's going to be fun to watch. Netherlands is ranked 16th. They finished second in the group with Germany, Northern Ireland, Belarus, Estonia. They're Euro ranked 11th. They have coaching issues. We'll get in that in a second. Yep. North Macedonia, outside of paying someone to get where they're at, they literally should not. I hate to be that guy who says, "Oh, this team shouldn't be here." They're ranked 62. They finished third, going 4-2-4. They got through playoffs against the easiest group in the random draw playoff that you could possibly think of, that had Georgia, Belarus, and Kosovo. They're Euro ranked 30. They literally should be here.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question. I think we're both resigned to the fact that North Macedonia are not getting out of this group. Not only are they not getting out of this group, they're finishing last in this group.
Yeah.
But let me ask you, the under-over right now, 1.5 goals. And I'm making this up because I don't know. Do not at me on this one. But in my opinion, it's probably 1.5 goals for them in the tournament. Are they scoring more than 1.5 or are they scoring less than 1.5? Because they do have to play Austria. And Austria are not a bad team. They're organized. And the Netherlands...
Ukraine is very good.
And the Ukraine is very good. Very good. So, North Macedonia, more than 1.5 goals or less than 1.5 goals?
I'm going to go with less than. I hate to be such a jerk to them, but I feel bad saying
they're going to have like a negative 15 goal difference.
The people of North Macedonia, I apologize. I'm very sorry for you.
At Nate Janulis on Twitter is where you can find him. I don't know if that's
I don't have a Twitter. The people of North Macedonia, all 10 of them, are in an uproar right now.
So we know that they're not getting out. We know they're not going to do very well. They're going to be the whipping boys of that group. Ukraine
is
are a good team.
They're FIFA ranked 24th. They finished first in their group, undefeated, 6 wins, 2 ties, with Portugal, Serbia, Luxembourg. Been to the Chi-Chis there. It's delicious. And Lithuania. So they didn't lose to Portugal.
There's some good teams in there as well. In their qualifying groups. So that's all right. So let's talk.
So here's a funny fact about Ukraine that I found out. Apparently, there's a shirt going around, and Russia is not happy about it.
Yes.
In the Ukrainian map, they included Crimea.
Yep.
Just to, I guess, I don't know, start an international incident, and Russia's furious.
Russia, to hit upon that, Russia actually went to
Ukraine goes on.
Russia went to UEFA and asked to have it removed from the Ukrainian shirt, but I don't believe it has.
It is not.
Yes. So all right, let's see who's coming out of Group C. You going Austria, Netherlands, Ukraine. Who do you think's finishing first and who's finishing second there, Nate?
So Netherlands has a coaching issue, big time.
Yep.
The coach that got him through qualification is now at Barcelona. New guy,
Ronald Koeman.
The new guy.
He did leave them, and now he's at Barcelona. Correct.
Started in September 2020. He didn't go through qualifying.
Right.
He's only played in friendlies. He's been highly criticized by his own family, even, who said that Johan Cruyff would be turning in his grave if he saw the way they played. Quote from his brother. I think they're going to struggle. I'm going to go, but I still think they'll get in second.
Yep.
And I think it's going to come down to Austria and Ukraine.
Who are you giving it to?
God, I can't. I have to. Dang. I'm going to go Austria because I can't go against Stuttgart. I'm sorry. And and my favorite Alba.
Jordi Alba? No.
David Alba.
David Alba.
So I think Austria has a solid squad. I think Sasha Klajdzic will be a good, fun, and not just because he plays for Stuttgart, but because he's a 6'7" forward and is highly entertaining. I think he's going to come alive this tournament, and I think it's going to be very, very easy. It's very, very fun to watch.
I was on the fence. I think Netherlands come out of this group as well. I was on the fence with Austria and Ukraine. I was going to go with Austria until you said Austria, so now I'm going to go with Ukraine. I'm going to go with Ukraine. So
I kind of hope there's like a Ukraine-Russian match somewhere along the line.
There's something, yeah. But
boy, will that be entertaining.
But, I mean, that is going to be a fun group. There's not a lot of players in that group that people are going to know of. There's several here. There's a handful.
Well,
but
Austria.
But those will be some good games. Yeah. Oh, I mean, there's some. Don't get me wrong. But, I mean, it's not quite the Netherlands of old. Austria used to be
but you do have Memphis Depay still playing in there, who's decent. And you got Varghurst, who did very well in the Bundesliga.
Van Dijk's still injured. He will not be playing, unfortunately.
That's going to hurt them big time.
Yep.
It should be interesting how they go about it. The biggest struggle they're going to have is, I hate to say coaching, but probably coaching because of all the criticism this guy's getting and the fact that a lot of the players apparently and a lot of the Netherlands media is not sold on this guy and not sold on his formation.
Well, that's going to be a fun one. I'm sure there's news coming out of that from everything. So, All right, we'll move along. Group D for Euro 2021. Group D consists of Croatia, Czech Republic, England, and Scotland. Now, this is a tough group. Not the group of death.
It is a tough group.
But a very tough group. I mean, Croatia, they've kind of fallen off the map.
Well, they finished first.
They have. But they did, but not quite the Croatia of 5 years ago, right?
They're aged a little bit. They are FIFA ranked 14th. They're Euro ranked 10th.
Mm-hmm.
They went 5-2-1, so they lost once against, Wales, Slovakia, Hungary.
You can take rankings for whatever you'd like. They're not quite the team they once were, right?
No.
But they're a good team.
They're a good team.
Czech Republic.
FIFA ranked 40, finished second, went 5-3, played England, Kosovo already, so they played England already.
Yep.
And Bulgaria and Montenegro, they're Euro ranked 18th. So when England was in that same group, they finished first. They're FIFA ranked 4th. They went 7-0-1, and they're Euro ranked 5.
I think England have been downplaying in the last couple of months. I don't think they've really put out they haven't had their full lineup properly without injuries. And I think they've been downplaying what they're going to be doing. We can come back to that. Okay. England, I think, can we both agree that England are the powerhouse of this group, the strongest team in the group?
It's a toss between, honestly, you're going to punch me, but it's a toss between England and Croatia. I still think Croatia has something to offer. Now, who's better? The biggest thing that I see here as well is Scotland. Because there's one thing that always gets people out of bed to plays better.
It's a rivalry, right? A derby match. Yeah.
Yep. And that couldn't... I mean, honestly, that's going to be an interesting game.
That is going to be one hell of a game.
I don't even know the last time these two teams have played each other. Someone's probably going to look it up and...
They haven't played competitively in a while. So this is
the last time they played in a tournament... I don't know.
Last time they played in a tournament? Oh, shit, that might have been Euro 96.
So it's been a while.
It's been a while.
So
that is going to be one hell of a game. And Scotland have some players.
No,
Scotland can do some damage, and they're going to want to beat England worse than anybody.
Scotland is ranked 44. They finished third, but Belgium rushed the Cyprus, Kazakhstan, and San Marino in that group. They went in a playoff.
Yep.
The playoff group was pretty good with Norway, Serbia, Israel, and they went to PKs with Serbia, winning that game off basically PKs with them. Yep. They're Euro ranked 29. So they took a hard road with Belgium and Russia being in the same group, and actually their playoff game to get there wasn't very easy with Norway and Serbia as well, two decent teams. I wouldn't count them out. I think England and Croatia are going to go forward.
Yep.
I think England will probably get first. And I think Croatia will be second.
I hope so, because England are the team I'll be rooting for, as you can see. Flag up there.
That's what that is.
Yeah, well, it's the Union Jack, but I'm English, so
Okay.
there's another English flag over there. Anyway, but that is a tough group. It is a very tough group. Croatia are, as we talked about, one of the top teams. They've kind of slipped off the map a little bit in the last couple of years from where they were. They still
got a lot of icks, though.
So
many icks.
Very good team. And
Modric.
Still a good player.
Still a good player.
And Czech Republic, they can do some damage. And Scotland, I think Scotland, they don't go 0-3. I think they get a win somewhere. Where's it coming from?
No, they're gonna get a win. I think Scotland will get a win. I think this is tough. That is a very tough group. I like Croatia's side still. I think they still have a lot to offer. I think they'll come out. I think they'll come out second, based on who they have.
Yep. Fun group there. We'll move on to Group E, consisting of Poland, Slovakia, Spain, and Sweden.
Ooh. So Poland, FIFA ranked 2021, finished first in their group, 8-1-1 against Austria, North Macedonia, Israel, Latvia, and they are Euro ranked 8th. Slovakia finished their FIFA ranked 36, finished third. They had to go to the playoffs. They got in basically through Bosnia and both Ireland's in that group. They're Euro ranked 22. Spain, FIFA ranked 6th, finished first. Didn't lose. Went 8 wins, 2 ties against Sweden, Norway, Romania, Faroe Islands, Malta. The Euro ranked 5th. And Sweden was, as I just mentioned, in that group as well. They're FIFA ranked 18th, Euro ranked 17th. They finished second with 6-3-1.
All right, Nate, give it to me then. Who comes out of this group in first place, and who comes out in second place? What are your thoughts?
I'm gonna go Spain and Sweden.
Wow.
I'm gonna discount Poland. I've thought long and hard about it, but they basically have one player, and even though they're right here on my glass, I don't know. Lewandowski doesn't really do well in tournaments most of the time. Now watch, he'll probably be the player of the tournament. But because I said that, my curse right there. Note it and timestamp it. How wrong I am. But normally, and he's been in tournaments before. They were in the last Euros, and they just didn't come up good at all.
Yep.
It's tough because he doesn't have a lot of help around him like he has in, he's so good in Munich, but he has a lot of help with him in Munich. He doesn't have that same support and help.
That's true.
Spain is a decent side. They kind of revamped and reorganized, and they probably deserve that FIFA 6 rank. They didn't lose in qualifying at all. And I think Sweden isn't bad. I think Sweden has a lot to offer.
But you're going with Spain and Sweden coming out of this group in that order, 1 and 2.
In 1 and 2, yeah.
All right. Well, I have a little bit of a confliction on this one. I think Poland come out of this group. I'm going to predict Poland come out of this group, and I'm not sure who finishes second, Spain or Sweden. I'm not sure at this point. It could go either way. Spain, if they show up, hey man, great. They're going to get out of this group and really do some damage in this tournament. But I don't know what Spain is going to show, which Spain team is going to show up. Because of that, I'm struggling to see if they get out of the group. I'm actually just for the heck of it, I'm going to go that Poland and Sweden get out of this group.
It's a bold move, Cotton. See if it pans out.
Yeah, see if it pans out. Love it. Yeah, everybody can make fun of me if that is just well off the mark.
Honestly,
in a week and a half.
I look at these tournaments, and these things can go so many different ways.
Yeah.
Sometimes the teams you think that would get out of it don't get out of it. That's why my brackets, every time I do these things, are always shot.
Busted after
the first
round.
busted after. That's why I do 2 of them. But these tournaments, it's a different game. It's a different level. Again, that first game, if you somehow nick your way into a win, all of a sudden you're playing with house money. You know what I mean? Because you got 1 win, and if you accidentally drop a game, all of a sudden your back's to the wall. And so that first game is super important.
Very important.
And anything can happen, especially when there's only really 3 games that you're playing here.
Well, let's move on to Group F, which is widely considered the group of death.
Death.
Death. So this group, I mean, I think everybody in the world is watching this group,
yeah.
right? They have France, Germany, Hungary, and Portugal. Poor Hungary gets stuck in a group with, are you kidding me? France, Germany, Portugal, and Hungary?
And I think if Hungary were in some of these other groups, they probably would go forward.
Oh, I agree.
I like this group. I don't think there's a bad game or matchup throughout. I think every one of these matchups, these games that are going to happen, are going to be really exciting.
Absolutely.
Really fun to watch. So France, FIFA ranked second, finished first, going 8-1-1 with Turkey, Iceland, Andorra, Moldova in their group. They're Euro ranked 7th. Germany, FIFA ranked 12th. Finished first in the group, 7-0-1. Netherlands, Northern Ireland, Belarus, Estonia, Euro ranked 4th. Hungary, FIFA ranked 37, finished 3rd. Croatia, Wales, they're in that Croatia, Wales, Slovakia group. They went 4-4. They had to go to the playoffs, beating Bulgaria, Iceland, and Romania to move forward. Portugal, FIFA ranked 5th, finished 2nd in their group, 5-2-1 with Ukraine, Serbia, Luxembourg, Lithuania, Euro ranked 13. And honestly, you go up and down. Every one of these teams has stars. Even Hungary has many stars that play in the German league. They're actually not bad. Portugal, of course, has various players that are very good on lots of teams.
And Portugal are the current European Cup holders.
They are the current holders.
They're holders of that. They won 2016.
Which was an interesting way how they got in, too, because if you go back all the way to 2016, they didn't do very well. They just kind of like limped in, somehow moved forward, and then started winning. Germany, of course, the players they got, class. France, I mean, has more players that you know. So there's names and players all over the place on all these teams. This is the star-studded group of death, if you will. You go up and down the list, it's going to be fun to watch.
Oh, it's going to absolutely be fun to watch. And they're still missing players, with some injuries to this group. But this group, obviously, as I said, widely considered the group of death because, I mean, there's 3 teams in here who actually could go on and win it all. They're in the There's the favorites, and the overall favorites in the tournament are France, Germany, Portugal, England, and I believe I'm missing one at the moment who's considered the favorites. But 3 of them are in this group. It's crazy to think that.
Yeah.
I mean, but nonetheless, Nate, who's finishing first and who's finishing second? Who you got?
First, everyone, sorry, Bundesliga fans, I'm sorry to say this. I think France finishes first.
I'm gonna 100% agree with you. I think France are so
painful.
good they could have a second team in this tournament. They could split the 26-man squad into 2, and the 2 teams may even meet in the final. That's how good
they are.
France
I know everyone is worried about Benzema, but honestly, I think Benzema was just a bit player in this team, and I think he was just going to come in off the bench to change things up. I don't think he's even a starter. If you look at some of the players they got, Kingsley Coman, Griezmann,
Mbappe.
Yeah, it's
everything runs to the middle of that field with N'Golo Kante.
That's the other thing. Kante is probably one of the best players in the world.
Yep.
Pogba's in there as well. He's okay.
I think we're going to see Pogba actually shine brightly in this tournament.
He always does.
Do you know why though? Because he's got N'Golo Kante next to him.
He does.
N'Golo Kante is going to do all the work,
and that's what happened in the World Cup, right? So they came through. Kante allows Pogba to be Pogba and play a little bit different.
Absolutely.
So with those players, if Kante's full strength, which he is right now, so long as he doesn't pick up a knack or anything, and I think that team is that's basically Belgium's De Bruyne. Is Kante. You can't replace a player like that. He's just that good. I think second is going to be Germany. I think they're going to be really good as well. I think they have a lot of good players.
You wouldn't be surprised though if Portugal beat Germany and all of a sudden France finishes 1 and Portugal finishes 2nd. You wouldn't be surprised, would you?
I would be surprised and crying. Why would you do this to me?
You would be surprised if Portugal have a star-studded team.
I can't imagine a world without Germany moving forward. Don't you dare, sir.
No, the Germans have a very good team, but
Portugal does have a squad that is. You got Fernandez, you got two Silvas, you got some solid players on there. They're pretty good. I think you have an aged back line though, which is what I'm hoping Germany is going to capitalize on.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. But this group, man, I have been waiting for the
And
Euros
Hungary
for
wins it
several
all.
months.
That's what's going to happen.
Oh my word, that would be awesome.
Hungary
moves on.
Hungary moves
yeah,
in
the rest
number
are
one
done.
spot. And everyone's confused.
As you can see, guys, this is the Euros. Man, so fun. So many good players, so many good teams. And the predictions we just made after about a week could all be down the toilet. None of these teams could move on, and
Yeah,
everything
we're gonna
could
have
be
to
asked
readjust
backwards.
everything.
Yeah.
and laugh at. We're
Right.
gonna have to play this back and laugh at all the ones we got wrong.
Yeah.
But as of right now, who is your team to win it, and who do you think is the team that's going to be the surprising dud?
Ooh, surprising dud.
So, team to win it, biggest surprise, which could be different, and then biggest letdown.
Okay. The team to win it's going to be France. I think France. If you had to put a gun to my head, I think France is going to win it. And I really hate to tell you who I think the team that's going to be letting everybody down is. I just have a bad feeling.
North Macedonia, I know. North
Yeah,
Macedonia, we're sorry.
Yeah.
People of North Macedonia, the fans.
I
there.
hope it's North Macedonia, and I'm very wrong, but I really want to scream and I want to start singing that it's coming home because I want England to do so well.
Can something that's never been there actually?
It absolutely
come-
yes.
come-
It can home. Yes,
okay.
trust me. You can
Because
go home to somewhere
get
you've
really
never been.
confused.
Um,
I thought that's what Robert Downey Jr. did and got arrested that one time, but okay. You know?
But England could be the team to let us all down. I just have a bad feeling. I've been looking forward to this tournament for forever, and it's finally here, and I cannot wait to sit down and watch and analyze every single England game. But they could let us down. They could lose a game, and then all of a sudden tie a game, and then they're out, and it's done. I think it could be England to let us down.
Surprise team. Doesn't have to be the team who wins it. I mean, it wouldn't be a surprise if France win it. What do you think is the team that nobody thinks is going to do as well? That comes out actually doing well.
Denmark.
Denmark?
Yeah, I think Denmark could make a little bit of a run. I don't see them winning it. I don't see them getting to the final, but they could get to the quarters and they could get to the semis, and actually people will be very surprised with how Denmark do. Yeah. And yourself, same question?
Same questions. Well, honestly, I would have picked France to win it too.
Yeah.
But
Clear favorites.
since you said that, I'm gonna just say, well, to hell with that. It's gonna be Germany
All right.
all the way, baby.
Why don't we? I was gonna say, why don't we make a pack of six beer, a 6-pack of beer, put it on the line, and say if one of those two teams win.
If you win, I find out some weird French beer, and we have to muster through it.
Yeah.
If I win, you find the good normal German beer, and we enjoy ourselves.
Bud Light, right?
Bud Light.
That's a German beer, from my understanding.
No, but I do have a funny story about bringing Bud Light to the guys I used to play with. For another day.
We'll save that for another day.
That was
all
funny.
right. So who's your sleeper and who's your surprise? Yeah.
Or biggest letdown, I think, is going to be Belgium. I think that's the one team that everyone's going, it's Belgium. It's Belgium. They're ranked number one.
Yeah.
They're ranked number one. And I think they're going to struggle.
They could.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I think without De Bruyne, they're going to struggle. Biggest surprise, I'm actually going to go with Austria because I think that team actually is decent. I'm really excited to see Sasha Klesen as not only as a Stuttgart fan, but knowing that he is a decent striker. He was in the top 10 goal scorers for Stuttgart, I believe, or not for Stuttgart, for the Bundesliga, I believe, as a young rookie that's really good.
Sure.
That was his first year. There's some other talent on that team that's pretty solid. I think Austria is going to be one of those teams that move on, that will move through and kind of turn a few heads. Not win it, but go decent.
Yeah, go a fair way into the tournament.
Go fair way.
Those are good picks. I like that. All right, guys. Euros start within 24 hours here,
24
I think.
hours.
And I don't know about you, but I just can't wait. There's going to be so many good games.
I'm going to eat a French dip with a side of turkey.
That's I hope that's for breakfast. And on that note, I think we'll finish up the We Are Soccer Extra Time video here on the Euros. We'll be back in a couple of days with some analysis of some of the games, and we'll talk about how some of our predictions failed miserably.
Probably gone down in flames.
Yeah.
North Macedonia is going all the way.
Man, I would love it
To
if
my
North
North
Macedonia went all the way.
Macedonia friends. There's some neighbor come up to me. I saw your video. I'm from North Macedonia. I don't know where that is on a map.
Yeah, I couldn't point that out. If you gave me $1 million,
It's
I would
north
know
of
the place.
Macedonia.
No, I don't think it is.
There's Macedonia,
Yes.
and then there's North.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining. Until
South
next
Macedonia.
time, we'll see you. Cheers.
Prost.